All right, well, we can begin whenever y'all are ready. Does everybody remember what happened last time on Dragon Ball Z?
We
Maybe.
we had one of those like bar questionnaire things, and
Yeah.
I won the trophy.
No.
Mm-hmm.
You guys remember what question of Scholar's Mate you were on?
1 second.
I almost think we had just finished the guy trying to solve the puzzle while on fire, and he was undeterred.
Yeah, okay. I don't know which one numerically that was. I
Um,
think that was question 4. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
I remember we were like a third or fourth. Yeah.
Question 5. The scores once again. Um, so no one answered that question. So we're just gonna skip it. The score should be 4 for team 1, 2 for team 2, and 17 for you guys, team 3. Okay. Continuing with the same category, question 5, spellcraft. How would you best recreate the following magic? And shortly after the question is asked, the lights above in the section of the arena here uh, show through via streaming modules a mage that is applying mana to a staff that then floats over a stream of water to a self-contained island with a candle along a pedestal. The staff is then seen connecting to the pedestal before lifting it up from the bottom of its hilt, effectively, before making its way back to the caster.
it lifted up the pedestal and it's bringing it back.
That's correct. Across the island, or basically just the partitioned off section of the arena that is separated by a border of water.
And did the staff pick up the pedestal by like a physical means, or does it look like it just stuck to it like magnet?
It touched the bottom of the staff to the top of the pedestal, and then lifted the entire thing, and then began floating its way back up to the caster.
Okay, so is it stuck or magnetized, something like that? Okay, or magic stuck, magic glued. Okay, so he put mana in a staff, sent staff over there, picked up thing, and brought it back over.
Yeah,
And we telekinesis would be a non-elegant or non-elegant answer, I think.
that would be a non-acceptable answer because that's
Non-acceptable.
not a spell.
Yeah, it's not a spiel.
Not a spiel. Yep.
Um.
It's a
Okay.
spell in Baldur's Gate, but these are orchestrates, so we don't need fucking magic to use telekinesis.
Okay, so I think this is going to be in transcendentalism, part of it.
It's Chief.
Hello.
Hello there.
You were here last time, right? We're doing the arena section of the old capital.
Oh, I
Right now,
don't plan to participate. I'm gonna have to leave soon. I just wanted to say hi.
Yeah.
okay, what's going on? Yeah, if you wanted to listen for they're basically playing a Jeopardy style game, sort of at the moment.
I'm gonna
Hopefully,
silence
ending
myself.
Okie dokie.
Okay.
Um,
So
Transcendentalism is what you said. Thought.
I think so. You see. I think it's going to be like maybe direct nature. Let's see. Under extract nature, let's look. Structure object of interest. You transcend its restraints and container to command to the power therein. Grants access to abilities crafted into objects, bypassing normal requirements. Okay, so that could be possible where he's using direct nature to access. Say the staff has some kind of like a levitation enchantment to it.
Yeah.
So the staff has a levitation enchantment, and he's using direct nature to access that, and then he's levitating it over to there. And then I don't know, using another component of the staff to connect to the pedestal, or maybe there's another compound component. Maybe what's this?
I like unleash potential, but overwhelm your own mana structure with the excess mana to pull the finesse from your potential through concentration and knowledge alone.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would have something to do with like
So
a
it lets you
compound
use.
spell.
What it does is it lets you use energy techniques that you don't have the requirements for.
Oh,
That would unleash potential.
Yeah.
So I mean, that could just be using telekinesis.
Yep.
Using that with telekinesis. So that's pretty simple.
Yeah.
But it is using a spell just to use a technique. That might not be the best answer. It's awakening nature, say. To another object of interest, okay. Okay, extract power from structures has been transitively sealed, okay. So what are, I mean,
Does it?
anything that could be transitively sealed.
Does the staff look like it's Magitech?
Yeah. All staffs are Magitech.
That awakened nature one's actually looking more like that if it was a Magitech staff.
Okay, so puts mana into it, it lifts up, goes across the water, hooks up to a pedestal, seeming to stick to or magnetize to, and then comes back. Okay. Magnetization. Okay, we've got Elder Magic, Magnetism. So we've got Elder Magic, Augment, Magnetism, we could say. We could say, yeah, the staff is transitively sealed with an Augment Magnetism spell. Although, does magnetism has to be ferrous metals, or are we talking about magically, creating just ridiculously strong magnetic
No,
field
no.
in a
It
localized
has to be
area?
ferromagnetic. Yeah, it has to be. What do you call it? The electrons can't be evenly distributed, so it has to be truly magnetic. Yeah.
Okay, well then I guess the question is,
What the pedestal is made out of.
yeah, what's the pedestal made of versus the
From
bottom?
observation, it appears the metal of the pedestal is only in some of the insignia bearing uh, the icon of Scholar's Mate. The rest of it is stone.
And then the bottom of the staff.
Uh, is going to be some Magitech composite material.
Okay, so stone, magitech material. How do you make stuff stick together? I mean, magitech and that. I mean, I don't know what kind of spell makes. Oh, it just makes glue. But that doesn't seem very cool.
There was no alchemical seals or things
You do not
looked at?
see alchemical seals being weaved. However, you're not shown the initial spell that is weaved before the footage begins. You only see him discharge the mon into the spell, into the staff. Sorry, me.
Yeah, because the staff could have seals in it. It could be.
Oh, I didn't even think about this staff having seals.
Yeah, that's why I was like, it's probably got the. I was thinking augment magnetism, but what else would work there? You could do augment gravity
Ah,
on the thing. What else can we work with here?
there's a lot of gravity spells, and especially with alchemy. Um,
I mean, it's freaking banned, dude.
Let's see, that's portals, and that's sorcery. Well, I mean, oh, that's another thing it could be. He could be animating object. Go down this route.
so when it comes to alchemy and teleportation, it wouldn't be like floating. It would just be appear here and then, or it was there and then it appeared somewhere else, kind of.
So you could get alchemy to levitate things by changing their mass, um, but that's a lot more unnecessarily difficult compared to some of the more elegant solutions.
All right. Sorcery. There's a lot of good things in sorcery that I need to look through.
Yeah, sorcery and enchanting were updated most recently.
Possession entity, or no,
Or was I animate? Animate material is a possibility.
dash sustain. Possess construct. Possesses an active or dormant construct.
So yeah, that would be something like a Magitech golem or a piece of Magitech robot, something like that, that's
Oh,
self-aware. Because otherwise, there's nothing to possess. If it's just an object, it's just going to sit there after it's possessed.
okay.
So what's the question?
Here's the prompt to Mr. Morning Star. There's a wizard, and he slaps Harry Potter in the face, and then he channels mana into a staff. The staff floats off his hand and floats over to the other side of the room past a small stream of water, and then the bottom of the staff, still upright, touches down on an altar or a pedestal on the other side of the river. It then lifts up again and lifts the entire pedestal before floating in unison, still touching, back to the caster.
And we gather that it might have something to do with transcendentalism and something else.
What energy is this wizard channeling?
Have you okay? So have you looked at sorcery? Was it animate, merge? That
So,
one.
yeah, the sorcerer won't be channeling any catalysts. He's only in Scholar's Mate. These are all spells. They never use energy techniques unless you're using specifically transcendentalism magic to evoke energy techniques.
Okay. He could
But merge in sorcery. That's what I'm looking at right now. That looks like that's exactly what's going on here. But I don't see a difference between merge symmetrical and merge asymmetrical.
So merging the symmetries here are about what type of thing you're combining. So
Oh,
You're
once
either
we-
possessing a metaphysical thing like a fire or some heat. You're possessing that, or you're possessing something more concrete like a train. So if you're combining them, you're combining asymmetrical
Yeah.
balance of possession. So like a radiation pocket versus that's being combined with a skeleton to make a radioactive thing. That would be asymmetrical possession. But if it's just a skeleton and a robot, those are both solid mechanisms. So that would be symmetrical merging. Another popular way to do it would be, I want to take control of the mind of this griffin. So I've taken control of its mind. But now I want to merge it with this fucking pool of acid. So I merge the two. Now this acid pool has the mind of this griffin, and then I apply the design, for instance, as a third step to give it the anatomy of a griffin. Now all of a sudden I have a griffin made of acid that thinks like a griffin.
Mhm.
That'd be cool.
If you're a freaking communist.
What if I'm just a socialist?
If you're a filthy socialist groomer.
Okay, how does it pick it up? How does it pick up the pedestal?
I think
We said the bottom. Okay, it's Magitech to stone.
It picks it up because it gets what you're putting down.
How does it pick it up?
It could be another spell in the staff that's using awake nature, making something lift.
Yeah, I was thinking the staff is the staff of, say, gravity, anti-gravity, whatever. Then awaken nature is used to make the staff float itself.
then asymmetrical merge. No. Animate. I think animate in
What did I say
ephemeral.
about? How did I get it to float in the first place?
By using the staff's inherent
Right.
floating capability.
Gravity. Yeah. Okay. So the gravity can, or the staff can alter gravity and make things floaty. Okay. So awaken nature to be able to do that.
Wait,
But we want to have it in one spell. We don't want to have two spells. We can have multiple, or I mean, compound spells. But if the first spell is awaken nature and it does the floaty thing,
well, I'm looking at animate ephemeral, and it says to control an immaterial substance and provide locomotion using mana as an energy source. So he put
Yeah.
mana into it, and
so if we did asymmetrical, we could say, okay, gravity is the ephemeral component we're controlling.
yeah,
That's right.
gravity.
So then that lifts it up, and then because it's animated, we have our discretion to move it at will. So we can move it to a place. Then we can say, well, now we want the second component of asymmetrical merging, the material animation, to occur. So somehow we need to get the staff to cast, I guess. Or hold on, the first is this. Well, I guess the second part, the staff has to go over there for the second component to happen, which is when it touches something, it merges physically with the next material item it touches, granting it the ephemeral characteristic of being less gravityness. Does that make sense? Okay, so
that makes
we're
sense.
casting animate. Yeah, okay, we're casting animate, merge, asymmetrical merging, I'm putting mana into the staff. And the spell, the compound, it's not a compound spell, I guess, so far. Putting mana into the spell.
Would that be ephemeral? And then there's a.
Well, it's going to be asymmetrical merging, which is both.
Oh, okay.
So I'm casting the spell into the thing, and I'm going to combine compatible ephemeral and material animations. To work together. Okay, so let's hold that off. Let's hold that back for a second. Let's go to now. If you animate object, you can't just innately make it float, right? And the object has to be able to move. Like you can't just make a broom move around, right?
No, you use mana as the energy source. It can animate however you want it to.
Oh, so
Yeah.
it can float, whatever.
It
Yeah.
gets your stats, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so then if this is a compound spell, then I guess the first component is he's charging the staff with animate material.
It would be ephemeral because the material is only like.
Well, it's a staff, so that's an actual physical item,
Yeah, that's
Okay.
correct.
Yeah,
The
it's
staff is
correct.
material.
and
That's
he's making that have the ability to float, move, whatever he wants. So he
Right.
casts that, and it goes over there, and then once it touches another physical object, then the regular merge, the symmetrical merge happens because we're combining compatible material animations to work jointly. So all we're doing is we're having these things touch, and then they're both going to be jointly animated in the air to come back. So yeah, that's the compound spell is animate material. I animate the thing. It moves to where I want it. Once it touches, the second component of the spell occurs, which is the merge symmetrical merging, which is this solid object touches that solid object, and now they're animated together. I think that's legal. That sounds legal. Sounds like a legit spell. I don't know what it would cost, but that's not our job. And it's from one spell school. It might not be the best, but I think it's pretty good.
And passivity wouldn't have anything to do with it, right? It's
Passivity is not a real spell. That's just sort of like a note
no.
for
Okay.
all of your sorcery things.
All right.
Yeah, because the merge component, that's when two things are actually being put together to do something animated together. You can't, I don't think you can say, well, I'm going to start this one moving, and then once it touches something, then now it's together. I think that's an actual, once they touch, then you activate this. At least that's how I think it's.
So I think you're on the right track. You've identified the most complicated part of the spell, because again, you're not allowed to cast two spells.
Right.
So whatever happens has to be happen in simultaneity. So why is if the first staff gets moved, why doesn't the altar move if they're cast at the same time? That's the question mark on how do you answer this question with a high likelihood of what do you call it, success.
Right. And that's why I think you have to animate the material, the staff first,
Hey, sorry.
to go
Bobby.
over there,
I didn't see you
and
there.
then you
thank you
activate the merge.
you
Else,
for
if
stopping
you
by.
activated the
Appreciate it.
merge, I think you'd have both things moving toward each other. Maybe. Although I honestly just think that's the action of putting two things in the same animation motion.
Yeah, so I mean, you can ask for clues,
To either
but Team 2 is going to Scholars Mate this, or they're going to attempt to. So if you want a clue, you'll have to let them answer first, and if they get it correct, you have no chance to answer.
Okay, so do you want a clue, or do you think yours can stand up to the scholar's mate?
Hold on a second.
I have an idea, guys. Spiritual telepathy, your old pal Shana, who's a named one, who can talk to us unnamed one buddies.
Those guys are banned.
Damn it, no cheating.
Okay. Now, author consciousness. This means I can put
You
what
can help the team, Morningstar. It doesn't matter.
if I have a consciousness, or this means I can just create a consciousness and put it in something. Author consciousness.
Things like seals that you have with consciousness sealed inside don't count towards the spell. So if you wanted to say it's a sealing spell and you just pulled it out of a hat, that's fine. It's not always going to be elegant, but are you talking about creating with ghosting?
Yeah, I'm like, oh, well, the guy's authoring. Well, no, I guess that doesn't work. 'Cause we're trying to do this in one spell. I was like, oh yeah, he authored a consciousness, and then the consciousness, but
Like you said, we didn't really see the beginning of it. You just saw him throw some mana in there, so it could be anything.
ephemeral or material animations to work jointly. Yeah, I think the two merges you have to get them. Yeah, they have to act simultaneously. Once a merge is used, that merge has to be used instantly on both items. You can't have it go, well, I'm waiting. I'll see in a minute. Okay, now we're good.
Yeah. So what that
trigger-
basically implies is that he has control of the altar. He's just choosing not to move it. Correct?
Either that or he doesn't have control of the altar and he only has control of the staff.
Okay.
In which case, my solution to that, which was my thought, is he has control of the staff but not the altar yet. Is
That would mean there's a
animate
second.
material.
Yeah, you do have to use a second animate merge material, right?
Yeah, so it'd be a compound spell. It'd be animate material and animate symmetrical merging. Or sorry, it'd be animate material, then with a trigger to trigger merge.
Yeah, it would have asymmetric and symmetrical merge, right? Because you're controlling gravity, or you're saying the staff controls the gravity.
No, because I start using, and I think this is the sneaky, or the not sneaky part, but the cool part about it. Because I'm using animate material, I'm using it to provide locomotion to a solid structure, right?
Yes.
So can utilize not using built-in functions. Just providing locomotion. That's all I'm doing. So I move this over to that point, and then I use the merge symmetrical because they're both just solid objects, and the trigger is when it touches another solid object, the symmetrical merge happens. Once that happens, the original animate material action should take precedence, and that is, although I could change it at discretion as the caster or whatever, should be simple locomotion, up, down, left, right. So I haven't violated that rule, and now that they're together, they're acting on the same locomotion, the same principle that I started the staff on in the first place. So that should be legal, and then I can move it anywhere I want and put it down. And once I put it down, I guess that's the end of the spell.
Uh-huh.
Once I release it.
I like it.
It seems pretty simple. What are we in now? We are in sorcery. I mean, it's pretty powerful stuff, but I mean, we are getting pretty powerful area.
Yeah.
Okay, that's my choice.
Do you want to submit that to the as your own scholar's mate, or do you want to go ahead and let them answer first? Because they're attempting a scholar's mate. So
And if
if you
we
want to do, you're going to have to let them answer first. If you want a challenge, you can make an intelligence check.
What are we, 3 away from winning?
Yeah.
It's
And they're sucking. And if we Scholars Mate and lose, how many points do we lose?
You lose 2.
And Scholars Mate means that we don't get the best answer, not just between the 3 of us, but the best answer, period.
So, if you answer Scholar's Mate, your answer has to be unanimous for the judges to basically say that's pretty close. You're not really going to get much closer. And so they'll give you 5 points instead of just winning normally, which is 3. But the benefit of Scholar's Mate is twofold. That it looks really good for the audience, so you get more renowned, but it also prevents any of the other team members, any of the other teams from answering, because the question immediately ends if the first person a Scholar Mate gets it.
Right. What do you think? What do you guys think?
I say challenge. We should challenge it. Yeah.
Do it? We're going to Scholars Mate it. We're
Okay,
gonna
go ahead and roll intelligence, Mr.
Study.
All right. Hopefully it's a good one. Ah, crap.
That's a fail. They get to answer first.
Oh, you rolled a 1?
Yeah.
I'd still rather have you roll than me, because I'd have to roll a 4 to get that score.
Oh,
Okie dokie. They are going to go with animate sorcery. And they're going to compound that. They're going to compound animate material with a transcendentalism spell. No, I'm sorry. With a enchantment. No, yeah, they're going to compound the transcendentalism to activate the staff's applied effect, which basically just applies a levitation to whatever it touches. So basically, they're only controlling the staff to make it float, and combining that with the transcendentalism spell to apply the staff's effect on a target. So it's going to touch this altar or whatever, and then it's going to start levitating in unison.
Okay, and just to be clear, this hinges on the fact that the staff has an inherent enchantment within it already.
That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so the judges are going to go ahead and accept that answer. They think there's room for improvement. However, the answer is good enough to get unanimous vote for the witchmadoodle, so they're going to score 5 points, and no one else gets the answer.
Oh.
We don't get the answer?
Nope. If you win a Scholar's Mate, then nobody else gets to answer.
Since I rolled that 1, it was my fault.
Oh, because the intelligence roll.
Yep.
Oh.
Son of
Ari
a
is
biscuit.
way better than that.
Yeah.
They would have said, oh, yeah, you got it. Okay. Damn it.
Damn.
Therein lies the issue. Do you want to do the thing and risk this mate, or for the clue, or whatever it is, blah, 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 blah.
You know what I forgot? Is we shouldn't have risked it. We should not have gone for it because...
We lose.
No, because they're going to listen and answer, right? And then we all still get a chance to answer, right?
If they do if you're answering with a regular thing?
No, they come in with a Scholar's Mate and nobody challenges.
So, let me read the rules real quick. If it's not attempting to commit a role, if not attempting a Scholar's Mate. Okay, so we haven't been doing that. I'm sorry, what's your question?
So they came in and said, hey, we're doing a Scholar's Mate.
Yeah.
Let's say we said, fine, do it.
Yeah.
And they gave that answer. Then what happens?
So if the judges agree that it's a pretty close to perfect answer, then they win the points.
5 points.
Yeah, so I need to stress here, there is no quote unquote challenge. That's more of like an in-game thing. Realistically, the way it is, it's a matter of speed. It's whoever submits there. It's like Jeopardy.
Okay, I got you. So they called out Scholar's Mate, and we did too. We were just a little bit slower.
Exactly.
Their answer was good enough.
That's what the intelligence roll is for. Yeah.
Okay, because the intelligence check made me slower. All right. Bummer.
Okay, so we didn't lose because of merit. We lost because of R and fucking G. Okay.
Yep.
Damn it. Well,
Got
can't win them all.
Okie dokie. Question number 6.
Appeal.
Sorry, what?
We'll request an appeal after the tournament.
I don't have that rule in, but we can add that later. Question 6, same topic. What is the best way to create the following magic? Once more, the monitors feed into the area to display the demonstration of magic. A mage is shown in a meditative stance within a dome-like structure with a ceiling missing, wearing an old Magian raiment that is charged with mana. Then, from over the top of the featureless dome, another mage flies over, unleashing a barrage of ether-based, most like projections from their. Just ether-based fire, I guess we'll say, from their Magitech weaponry on board. In response, the meditating mage's armor reacts and projects a shape of a wave of water that serves to block and contain the volley of shots coming from the attacking mage, before holding those shots contained within the wave in orbit around the mage. The meditating mage then stands, channeling his or her own mana again, and then causes the wave to disappear along with the contained shots.
The water just disappears, and so too do the shots. Just
There's actually a second part of this, but I think I'm going to cut that because I think this one's already complicated enough. Unless y'all really want it.
I don't even know which mage I'm supposed to be. I assume it's the sitting one.
That's correct. Because all the other one that did was fly over and shoot him with Magitech.
Okay.
And when his armor reacted by putting out this wall of water, encapsulating these shots, these projectiles.
Correct.
And taking these projectiles and basically creating a sphere of water around the sitting caster with these projectiles in the water.
Yeah, that's correct. They're encapsulated by this projection of somewhat water-looking stuff, yeah.
And they're surrounding him, although he's not in water because it's an empty, orb.
Mhm.
And then at some point, the water dissipates, and anything in the water, I guess, so too, also.
Yeah, that's right.
I almost wanted to do a Scholar's Mate and go, this is bullshit. The armor did everything.
Well, he did do that thing where you can cancel out the spell. What was that? I forgot what that spell surge.
Spell shift cancels a spell that's currently being used
Spell shift.
or charged.
Yeah, so we've got Elder Magic, Conjure. That would create water. Well, wait, does that create water? I think it's just cold and heat. I don't know if it creates actual water.
And I didn't notice any alchemical symbols around.
Water. Go ahead.
I didn't notice any alchemical symbols around the mage.
Negative.
And
Or maybe I'm thinking about a high magic conjure.
Water, water, water.
Yeah, high magic can make water. Yeah.
Project wave. Interpolate wave. Detects light. No, produces light waves. That's the
Where you at with that?
What was that spell that I have? That shield that you gave, or you taught me?
Why, the kinetics field?
Yeah, the kinetics. I called it the band shield. Kinetics. Let's see if I could throw in some kinetics in there.
All right, sorry, I had to walk away. What was this question?
So,
It's real complicated.
a meditating mage is sitting inside of a dome-like structure. However, part of the ceiling is missing. A Magian then flies over this opening in the dome and fires inside of it towards the sitting meditating mage. The meditating mage then reacts and projects a construct in the form of a wave of water that serves to block and subsequently contain the shots coming from the attacking mage before holding them in orbit within the wave. The meditating mage then stands and causes the construct to dissipate along with all of the contained shots.
I see kinetics repulsion. That could be like a form of that with a compound or a spell shift. 'Cause the energy is used to maintain the object may at any time be detonated.
That's correct.
Combined with the high magic projection as well.
What high magic projection? Oh, you're saying you're compounding it with projected wave. Project wave means like wave as in wavelength, like
Wavelength.
light.
Oh.
Yeah. Like it's behaving like a wave and not a particle.
So conjure, elemental. But can we sense how much mana he gave off casting the spell?
That is a detail you are not privy of. This is merely footage. You do not sense mana.
Oh, damn, that would help tremendously.
Yeah. You're not allowed to see the beginning of this magic, so you don't know what he cast before it began, and you don't know what kind of mana he was channeling.
Mana to... Oh, there's a lot of things in enchantments, too.
Did the guy become like off balance or anything after he got? Oh no, he just caught his shots, right?
You talking about the attacking mage?
Yeah, because he just caught his.
Yeah, he just flew over the opening in the dome and flew right out of view afterwards. He
Oh,
shot
okay.
the thing as he's passing over it and then
Oh.
flew by.
He's a flyby. What a scumbag.
Armor enhancements. Adherence mana to evasion. There's mana to evasion or absorb energy on the armor enchantments. We just... Ah, fuck.
Okay, right here. So I am in. Where am I? I'm in high magic, conjuration. Okay, he goes. This is a compound spell that is triggered by a ranged attacks, probably, or ranged and/or physical attacks incoming, based on an awareness like trigger. So it starts off with conjure element.
Sorry about that. I had to pee. Does anybody ask me anything?
I was just going over the boys with my first solution.
Okay.
and that is high magic, conjure element. The way the spell is built, it's compound. First part is conjure element. This stuff is built into the armor, or the spell is built into the armor as a defensive trigger while playing defensively, while being defensive. And it's got an awareness trigger, so probably physical damage and incoming projectiles. Anyway, the first component is conjure element, which is water. The next component is conjure force, specific to fluids. Because this allows for the lifting, relocating, or destroying of susceptible targets. It also allows for the interruption of attacks if used defensively, the interception of objects or projectiles if used defensively, and it is intended to be played with situational awareness. So I think that pretty much calls it right there.
Would there be a seal in his armor that would detect it, or do we have to go that?
I would assume that his armor is just simply enchanted with this spell. It's an applied enchantment on the armor. But good call, because that was probably the other big point. How is it on the armor?
Yeah, because that's what I
Applied
was.
enchantment. This compound spell is an applied enchantment on the armor.
Applied enchantment. And how do we apply the enchantment? Just with coherence. That he had it before.
Say again.
Like his armor had coherence before.
What is that? What does that mean? Where did you hear that? Coherence? What is that?
Coherence is part of the armor enchantment. Allows the wearer of the armor to mentally communicate with other pieces of equipment that have coherence on them. That's specifically in armor enchantments in the enchantment school.
Okay, and you're using that how?
The way, because he was meditating, and that was probably a way for him to be like, it's the armor communicated to him that a projectile is coming, so get ready, type of thing.
Yeah, more orchestrated, so he's aware.
Oh yeah.
Like, he's vitalizing. Even he's aware of his surroundings.
Yeah, if you're talking about how does he react to it, that's simply this counterspell technique.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we have counterspell, which allows conjuration spells to be used as a defensive measure. So if you have a counterspell, and even if you want to get even more fancy, you could have counterspell and spell charge. That way, you grant a selective AOE to your conjure force, and that way you can dynamically control this selective AOE of water with the counterspell defensive measure, all built into your armor with an applied enchantment.
So his question was, what spell in the enchantment in the armor school, armor branch, are you using to apply that effect?
Oh.
There's not an applied effect that does that anymore. There's just the specific ones laid out. So armor, the apply effects you can do to armor are coherence, adherence, which allows you to place objects to the armor so that they stick together. There's mana to evasion, all those. And then there's a list of applied effects. The list of applied effects, you do have the applied effect that allows you the possessed apply the effects of another spell possessed by the caster as an enchantment. So yeah, that you're talking about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
So yeah, that would be the one where the caster has this spell, but he's simply applied it to his armor,
Oh hell yeah! All right.
so that his armor reacts instead of him having to say use an interact action to use the counter, which is probably a pretty smart move.
That's a good thing to have for
Yeah,
surprise attacks.
turn to turn or something when you use it, or I don't know really, or it's going to cost extra turn to turn to have that applied on your armor and active. So, and it was glowing already. So he did say that it was glowing already. So that to me seems like it's active, which means maybe he's playing an extra turn to turn cost by having that applied effect active. Yeah, I don't see. I mean, Seal Ward could also be a thing where you had the spell in the seal. Um,
Yeah, I think
uh,
Seal Ward is specifically for resisting seals.
oh, okay. Oh, I thought that said insultation ward. I'm like, wait, there's a ward specifically to insult people?
Yeah.
apply effect.
Um,
Yeah, I think that one covers the.
Yeah, I think so. So we're going apply effect, basic, the absolute base apply effect, which is this compound. Shit, where did I get that from? High magic.
High magic.
I don't
It's
know.
a compound spell of
It was
conjuration,
conjuration
conjure element, um,
and
and
force.
conjure force, and just to be a little more refined, for the control. And do we see the level of refinement? Is it extra refined? Obviously, counterspell, I think is pretty much a. It's not necessarily a plus. I think you can still, with awareness, have your armor do that. But
I
it's
think
not.
you guys have enough spellcraft lore to see that you haven't really touched on the most complicated part of this spell yet.
Oh, right. Okay, so yeah, we need counterspell and possibly spell charge. That takes care of the selective AOE. That takes care of grabbing all the stuff. That takes care of creating the wall,
And then
and shaping it whichever way you want, and
spell
then
shift to cancel it all.
grabbing the things and having them move around you.
Oh
And then the
yeah.
last one is having it all disappear. Which I think this also takes care of, because if we look at Conjure Force, like I said, it allows for the lifting, relocating, or destroying of susceptible targets. It doesn't specify how the destruction occurs. Is that a
Just by
GM
regular force
discretion?
application, yeah, you crush it, you break it, something like that.
Like it explodes, and so you would noticeably see that it's
Yeah,
being
if you're talking about
physically,
like air pressure, then yeah, it would collapse, something like that.
um,
And what showed in the demonstration is that the contained shots from the other party dissolve away, just like his own projection here.
just like the water.
Yeah.
Okay. Um,
Projection and that's in kinetics.
yeah, how do you dissolve or dissipate the projectiles? Let's see. So we got pretty far now. We just need to figure out how we dissolve the projectiles.
Do you think spell shift would do that, or
That would get rid of the water and the force, so the projectiles should either keep moving in whatever velocity they were traveling in, or
oh okay.
fall. One of those two things would happen, because the spell would no longer be holding them. So there has to be another component somewhere that dissolves these projectiles. And if we're saying that we're spell shifting the compound conjuration, high magic conjuration spell, then it needs to have a trigger, which I don't think is feasibly logical, because if the trigger is, well, once I start shifting the spell, then trigger this to happen. It's like, well, yeah, but you just started shifting the mana. How can you do that?
Would kinetics, one of the repulsions, be able to do that? Because I only see it and it only says detonate. So
Yeah, I don't
guess,
know.
detonate would not be dissolve for sure.
What else? What else can do that? Alchemy, obviously. Oh, Elder Magic can probably do some augment particle stuff. Did you say there was? Did you also say there was a lot of ether?
Yeah, there was a lot of ether. Yeah.
There's a lot of ether. Okay.
So
Well,
they're
let's
like
see.
ether blast.
Elder
Yeah,
Magic.
all these shot at you were ether based. Yeah.
Oh, those were ether based, not his magic, not the
Yeah.
not the meditating mage.
That's correct.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, who just?
Negate. Sorry, I found it.
No, go ahead.
There's
Negate.
deliverance on negate. Terminates the active mana by creating a point that serves as a region that ethereal climates towards. Inside this region, all mana that traverses its negated targets that attempted to gather within this region are inflicted with depletion.
No, not that.
That could work. That could work. Yeah.
Oh, it can?
That would definitely, yeah, that would basically dissolve the active mana. It becomes neutral mana or whatever.
Oh, I thought it was like
Neutral,
the
sorry.
way it's described. It sounds like it has to be like orchestrates, because it says depletion. You can't affect the projectile with depletion, right?
Oh, the mana shot at him were ether based, so it's positively charged mana.
Okay. So read that again then.
It's on the utterance deliver negate. Terminates the active mana by creating a point that serves as a region with ethereal climates towards. Inside the region, all mana that traverses its negated targets. Inside this region, all mana that traverses it is negated. Targets that attempt to gather within this region are inflicted with depletion.
Does it say anything in there about AoE?
Yeah, range, small AoE cost, moderate AoE, large AoE.
Does it say whether that AoE bubble can be mobile? Can it be moved? I guess since you're using ether and this is high saturation, that's a no.
It doesn't say that on here, but
Let me see.
Is
Is
that
it aerial or affected by saturation? Yeah, it can be.
Well, the real question is if this thing's an AoE bubble, this deliverance spell's an AoE bubble, can you move it around? Because if we can't move it around, that's a problem for this solution.
You cannot.
Because then the only solution that this can be used for is you'd have to trigger it by some means to say, okay, well, I guess once it's around me, once I've caught something and then it's around me for an amount of time, then this triggers. I mean, you could do something like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's sort of like a window for compound spells. They don't have to all be like precisely at the same time, because that would be basically tantamount to just double casting.
Yeah, but all these things are going, yeah, really fast. But
as long as there's an order to it, that's really what matters.
Yeah.
okay, so this could even be casted separately, or because the armor's basically doing all the work. We would need this and a kinetic spell to finish off what the armor's doing. Maybe.
My problem with this though is that as a pre-built spell, Okay, so you can control the water, you move it around wherever you want. I have a problem with the spell feels too detached from the main spell. Like it feels like it has to be a second spell. Because the timing is not good because you have to create the water wall, then craft it into a ball, then bring it around you and create an empty sphere around you, have that moving around for a amount of time, and then dissipate the stuff. So you got a bunch of things happening before you dissipate the stuff. That's a lot of time. That's
But
not.
but at the same time, the armor is doing half of that. So
Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who's doing it. It doesn't matter if he's casting it or the armor's casting it. The point is, if this is a compound spell, like, why does it take 5, 6 seconds for the spell to finish? Because you're allowed to dynamically do this stuff because that's how the spell's built. And then when you get to this one thing that you can't move around, you have to wait until you get your ball of force wherever you want it and you're ready to dissipate it. Then that component triggers. So you could theoretically be holding these projectiles and moving them around for 20 minutes before you decide, well, I want to put them around me, and then blah, blah, unless the spell is grab them, put them around me, and dissipate them, which I guess that could be like that's how the spell works. If something comes in, you grab it, you surround it, and then you dissipate it. So okay, that's yeah, okay, so that works. It does work.
all right. And I don't think the cleanse or the spell would be applicable. It seems like just the negate part of the refute under utterance.
I mean, there was no when the dissipation that happened, there was no like light or energy that came off of this. They just went away, right?
No, yeah, there's a thorough display of discharge of mana. Yeah.
Oh, there was. Okay, so I mean, we could. It might be antimatter annihilation. Did we look at that and go, hey, you know what? That looked like anti-particle annihilation.
If these were real water particles annihilating, it'd probably be far more violent, if I had to guess.
I figured.
Permanently dissolve magic, refinement, or mana structure. Yeah. So let's put this in order. I just
Okay, so there was a large quantity of ether used from. Wait.
Not really. It's more like a volley of shots from an either like wrist-mounted weapon.
Oh yeah, and that was from the other guy. The armor, which is what's in question, was not putting out a bunch of ether, right?
Negative.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, not that then. Not no, not that. Oh, no, probably not. Uh,
oof.
yeah, I think that's probably pretty good. The deliverance thing there. So okay, we've got.
Would it be compounded with the kinetics to make it move, or would there be something else that could make it move?
No, we already covered that
Oh
in
yeah, yeah, that's
100
right.
Fort.
That's right.
So okay, the armor. If we run this through, okay, the armor has an applied enchantment, which is a spell that, and the spell is conjure element water, conjure force fluids. That takes care of the dynamic movement of water and its shaping And those should happen at the same time dynamically, just like a compound spell should happen.
Remember, so compound spells do not activate all of their effects at once. They just have to be ordered.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So water force, conjure water, conjure force, and then what's the deliverance one?
Deliverance. It says refute, but then there's negate underneath it.
So yeah, refute is the name of the spell, and negate is like a subclass, I guess if you want to call it that. I just didn't know where to put it because it's already under the refutation branch, and we don't have anything that goes underneath branches, so it's just like a sub branch.
All right. Sub branch of refute, and it's called negate.
Fire. What the fuck? What's the name of the main branch?
I'm sorry, that's not. Yeah, utterance is the name of the
Utterance.
branch. Refute is a spell under utterance, and then there's different versions of refute. So cleanse, negate, etc.
Oh, okay. Cleanse. I got cleanse and dispel. Oh wait, there's this negate. We're doing terminates the active mana. So yeah, the projectile is definitely active mana, and the water is active mana. So okay, terminates active mana by creating a point that serves as a region that ethereal climates towards. Now, did we actually see that? Were all the rounds in the water? Well, yeah, because it's a
Yep.
sphere. So yeah, and because you have the small AoE control of the force, they all have to climate towards that point. So yeah, okay.
And
Inside the dragon, all mana that traverses it is negated. Okay, that attempts to gather within this region are inflicted with depletion. Okay. Yeah, and it ends with this. And that's the last component of the spell. So 1, 2, 3. So it's a three-parter, which I think is pretty much the maximum you can do.
yep.
Fixed depletion on target. No. Temporarily erase percent. No. Okay, I think we're gonna do that. Yeah.
Okay. Did you want to wait for a clue? Team one. I don't think anybody's going to scholars make
No,
this.
it's good. I think it's good enough for a majority decision. I think, and we're gonna scholars made it, right?
Scholars might.
Yeah.
Right side. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What is your final answer then? Go ahead.
Okay, so it just in case it doesn't go without saying, the armor has been applied enchanted with a spell that
Enchants with an apply effect. Okay.
which the enchanter has, the caster has, and that spell consists of elder magic, conjure element, water, high magic, conjure element, water, high magic, conjure force, fluids. This allows the wall, the shaping, and movement. And then the third component is deliverance, utterance, refute, negate. That's going to terminate everything within the scope of the water mana. And if you're really good, you should have counter spell as a spell technique, so that this can automatically occur without you needing to do it yourself.
Awesome possum.
That's right. Did I miss anything? Sorry.
No,
Well,
I think you got it.
the judges think that's a pretty good answer. However,
It's not good enough.
they stress the tactical reasoning behind targeting yourself with an ethereal spell and risking depletion?
Well, you're not targeting yourself because you're targeting the shaped a small AOE that you created. So while you might be in that bubble, you're not in the water, which is the depleted area.
That's correct. Um, they do think it is quite risky to surround yourself in a depleted area.
Who's gonna come in? Like, who wants to step into the small AOE circle of, oh, should I get depleted before I fight this guy?
Well, they could just throw something at you, or blow you up. I don't know. Um, so I think we're gonna accept that answer. Uh, but if they want to make it known that there is room for improvement.
I mean, sure.
Woohoo.
We'll work on it for sure. Definitely. I'll
Okay,
hit the books tonight.
great success.
Hardcore. I hit the books tonight.
You reach the maximum score,
Oh,
and you win the game.
oh,
Dun, dun,
Woohoo.
we're over. We're 17 points.
yeah,
Nine.
actually, that was a mistake. You were supposed to be at 12 points because the maximum is 15 to win. So you were
Right.
at 12, and now you're at 17 now.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, 17.
So great success. You win.
And I think
The team gets credit for a total of 2 correct
with you?
scholars mate, or was that 3?
well, the last one counts. I think that. Well, no, because we didn't get the one. We got hosed with RNG. So I think that was only 2.
Yeah,
2 successful scholars mates.
two
Okay.
successful Scarlets.
Very good. Your competing teams' scores were not very impressive, so you should walk away with this with a hefty amount of renown. Well played, gentlemen. You were invited to play a second round. If you wish to double or nothing your renown and go for the Forsaken Arts or Magecraft question category. These are not open-ended. They are simple answers that will have you basically given a lore stress test if you do not know the answers immediately.
Wait, you said there's an arcane one? Wait.
There's a Forsaken Arts category and a Mage and Sealcraft category.
Mage and Sealcraft. I mean, I don't see any reason why we shouldn't try all of them, unless we think we're gonna get destroyed, because then that would be bad. If we finish third, I think that's a showing. But if we don't get third in anything we try, then we probably shouldn't try it. Well, how do you know that?
Let's see. Which one do you have more knowledge in? Well, you
Oh,
probably
the steel. Wait, it's Sealcraft.
have Sealcraft and Magecraft and Forbidden Arts.
Yeah, Magecraft and Forbidden Arts, and then it was Sealcraft and
Magecraft.
wait. What?
Sealcraft, Sealcraft and Magecraft are together, and then Forbidden
Yeah.
Arts is by itself.
Yeah, that's right. Forsaken Arts is another
Or
category, yeah.
Forsaken.
Well, Sealcraft, Magecraft, we each have 3s in, which is pretty good. The Forbidden Arts, which I imagine is like Arcane, Celestial, I have like 1, maybe 2 in. 2 in Celestial and none in Arcane, or 1 in Arcane.
I have 3 in Celestial and 1 in Arcane, so that would.
Do you have a 3 Celestial? That's pretty good. Who's God Wiener did you tote around?
I don't remember how I got there, but
What the fuck?
I remember it was. I think it was a training.
It was me.
It was you.
Oh, yeah, we got we did get trained because I now have a 4 in Celestial.
Mhm.
That's right. Somehow from out of nowhere, I just learned all about the Celestials.
Look, you guys should both have a 1 in everything, guaranteed.
I do have a 1.
Do
I do have a 1 in everything because I have that that
Oh.
title.
It
I guess-
was.
Unless you're saying I should have a 1 in everything plus the title.
Negative. Everybody should have one in everything if you got that title, and then the elite guard training, or just the thing, the sign on gives you another celestial lore. So you should have a minimum of 2 celestial lore, both of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
But then I
since
thought we
we're,
got
I think
2
because we're, I think you should have a 3 because we got trained in the elementalism or something. Not trained, but there was something where we got an extra.
Yeah, if you're in a covenant, you get the celestial lore, but if you're not in that covenant anymore, you need to remove it. Are you both in a elementalism or prayer covenant?
Yes.
Okay, then yeah, you should both have 3s in celestial. What rank are you in both of those?
I'm. Did we increase rank? I don't remember. I think.
In elementalism?
Yeah.
Let's see here. I'm pretty sure that we are. Oh, inventory.
Level 4. I didn't fucking write it down like an idiot. What's wrong with me?
Where did I lose?
Ernie, I think you're a level 4.
That's what I think.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
pretty
so.
sure you're a level 4.
Actually, I just need to look at wind because I just need to look at what we have access to because we are just the level that allows us to create elementals, which looks like is level 4. Oh, wait, I need to
Yeah.
look at
And
elementals.
that's how I was able to control that.
Yeah,
the
control elemental. Yeah, we're level
sun.
4, and I
Are you
think
both level 4? Okay,
yeah,
so then you should have you
every
should both have 4s then in
yeah,
celestial.
because for every 2 levels of elementalism, maybe other covenants, you get 1 celestial lore.
Yeah, if you get to level 3, you have +2. So yeah, you should have 4s.
Yeah, that's what I got. I got 4 in celestial and a 4 in adept, and 3 in
Magi.
magecraft, spellcraft, and then 2 in warcraft, and then 1 in everything else.
What's your Magian?
It's a 3.
It's a 3.
Yours,
Alright.
yours should at least be a 3.
Yeah, mine's a 3.
Yeah, your Magian, Magian, Magecraft, Spellcraft should be 3s. Yeah, you should have all the same stats as me. I don't know about your Warcraft. You might have more Warcraft than me.
My
How
Warcraft.
big are your balls?
I only got 2.
My Warcraft's a 2.
A 2?
But I got spiritualized, so.
Ooh.
Which reminds me, now that I was playing around with that other stuff, what was I doing?
You were singing a song.
Oh, no, I was making that NPC. I need to get sustain and spirit sword on this guy.
Sword. Okay, so which one you taking? Which category?
We're gonna take the Magecraft, Sealcraft. Wait. Shinar, are you actively on right now?
Yeah, you guys can spiritual telepathy talk to me.
Yeah. Well, if you're here, then let's do the Forbidden Arts one.
The Forsaken Arts.
Of course, the Forsaken Arts.
Forsaken.
The crowd is very excited. You're granted a brief recess where your opponents congratulate you for your excellent performance, and they make the platonic gestures to signify their sportsmanship for you, and so forth.
Yeah. Return thatness too.
Yep. Oh,
And something
we.
I would also like to do is just because I really felt it was important to have a lot of ideas transferred because that's the important thing about Magi. I want to submit our solution for that one spell to the judges anyway, just so they have another type of solution
It
available
will be noted.
for the future, for the greaterness of dark Magi.
Okay. Think you're a fucking wise guy, huh?
No, yeah. We just won Scholars Made, so kind of, yeah.
Well, um, they told you to get your back up off the wall.
Actually, we have written documentation right here, and it's not at all even written in here.
Oh,
I see, look, it's written. See, look, evidence right in your face.
oh no.
Yeah, they didn't say that at all.
Well,
They,
whatever.
they gave us kudos, and we ate them.
Question one. Um, the judges have decided to begin this competition with a lower level difficulty in sign of the good competition between the parties attending. Anyway,
Oh, and do we get a choice to start with like no points?
oh yes, you do. Do you want to decline your first three? Team two declined their first three at the beginning of the last round and lost. This time they will decline that, so they will keep their 3 points. Team one will also keep the 3 points.
And we absolutely smashed last one, but it was a completely different category. But this time we have a Shinnah with an arcane of 4.
And that's when Shinnah says,
So I think, what do you think? Should we risk it? Just be like we're badasses. We don't need those 3 points.
"There is a biscuit right over there."
What are we saying?
Here, let me roll for it.
What's the roll? What's the conditions? You can't just roll and be like, oh yeah, mm-hmm.
Yeah, 1 through 3 is. Why is my dice not working?
See, you're trying to roll it without explaining the rule first.
1 through 3 is
No points.
Hold on, my computer. I'll be.
1 through 3 is no points.
1 to 3 is no points. And 4 to 6 is points.
Is we're soft boys and we need help.
Yeah. Let me get back.
1, 2, 3.
I was clicking things and it wasn't working. Not even.
Just press the up key in the chat.
I want to say this in the straightest way possible, but that's a really hard look. He looks hard. He looks really hard. He looks tough. Looks hard. I wear makeup professionally, and I like to tell other men that they look hard.
Okay.
All right, we get the points.
So we're keeping the points then. All right.
Aww. Like everybody else.
Okie dokie. Question one is
Well, the answer is 5 or 9.
what crucial component is shared between the following: a treated cyan piece, an unapplied animation seal, and a central Magitech combat frame?
Consciousness. Is a guess. So we're looking at what was the initial question? Just the first question.
A treated cyan piece. I'm sorry. What crucial component is shared between the following: a crucial cyan piece. A treated cyan piece, an unapplied animation seal, and a central Magitech combat frame.
Jesus.
A consciousness?
And a Saya piece is a piece of armor.
Yes, or weapon.
And my initial guess is a consciousness. It seems like that would work with all of those. What crucial component is missing?
Basically, yeah.
What was the second one again?
Sorry, the second one is an unapplied animation seal.
Unapplied animation seal. So it's got an animation spell in the seal, but it hasn't been applied to anything.
Yes. The seal is basically incomplete. It's waiting. It's basically a applied seal, but there's a component missing to it, and it's designed for animation.
Yeah. Okay.
The answer's always mana. No, just kidding.
I mean, because you don't. What crucial component is missing? So based on what he just said, it's done. Like, what are we waiting on? Like, an animation spell doesn't need a consciousness, but it does need a directive. But we're also talking about the Magitech combat frame, and we're also talking about a cyan piece.
It was me. Hey, it's Jack.
It was
It's Jack
actually
Skellington.
Or it could be something simple as a user.
What the fuck did you just say?
Mana to be channeled into it, to be, because that needs to be finished. The cyan piece needs to be, charged with mana, and then the Magitech, obviously you need to charge mana into it to work, otherwise it just sits there.
Oh, I
So
was just
that's it.
joking.
These are not open-ended. They're not up for interpretation. Answers have to be precise as possible in order to be.
Are we still in the wizard games?
Sorry, what now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. These are the wizard games.
Unless you wanted to start your fight, your hand-to-hand fight, which you can
As
do.
part of
No,
the wizard games, you can make a Harry Potter joke that is disparaging against Harry Potter and or Daniel Radcliffe to automatically get this round in your favor.
Daniel
So
Radcliffe's
Harry
a
Potter
Newman.
is plagiarized from
Star Wars.
no, what's that? Narnia, the Narnia movie.
Narnia and Star Wars compounds.
Yes. Sorry about my lateness. I was considering leaving this campaign to do something else, but that something else just drove me so bored that I could not even stand it.
The fact that Harry Potter actually got that electrical scar on his forehead because his mother threw the hairdryer into the bathtub because like Voldemort was going up with a cake because they were new neighbors. He's like, "Hey, welcome to the neighborhood, neighbors," and she's like, "This guy just zapped my baby," and of course they believed it because, well,
That's pretty cool.
she screamed it.
He did nothing wrong. Voldemort did nothing wrong.
I know, just because he looks weird. Like, jeez.
They're racist
I mean-
against those.
These guys-
Voldemort is
Okay,
totally Darth Vader, okay?
Okay.
Parents of the orphan kid, and the orphan kid goes to live with his uncle and nephew
Yeah,
somewhere
he
else.
convinced me a lot. I
And
mean,
then he learns about the Force, aka magic, from some weird guy that shows up and tells him he's a wizard / you're a Jedi. The
Yeah.
similarities are right on your freaking face.
and he develops a lisp too. He speaks all kinds of languages with a lisp.
Too bad.
Oh my God.
Too bad Harry
Okay,
doesn't get
okay,
his
okay.
arm chopped off. That would have been cool.
Okay. But can we make a quick funny joke about something?
No.
Yeah. We can make a joke. Literally, Voldemort is the equivalent of getting Nazi tattoos, and we cannot deny it.
On his face or where?
I don't feel that's literally the equivalent of getting Nazi tattoos.
Oh no! The joke is every time you split your soul, you become more and more ugly, and he split his soul so many times that he fucking became what he is now, which is jokingly the equivalent to becoming more and more fucking stupid or ugly when having Nazi tattoos.
I mean, all right.
I'm not afraid that bashes on Harry Potter.
Beauty is
Yeah.
subjective.
No, not fuck that.
Boy, how dare you? Although I had the stupidest conversation with a teacher. We were Yeah, you ever had those teachers that were like, "Oh, It's memorizing. Let's memorize 9/11. So let's talk about it.
Oh shit.
I was in school when 9/11 happened, so.
Me too.
I
I was actually in his same school.
situation.
He was
Sure.
always being real mean to me. He would like put cigarettes out on me. Like, it was,
Oh my god.
I don't know why.
No.
He was like a totally different person back then.
Yeah, no, but we were doing something, and one of the famous things she does is Al Qaeda is to Muslims what blank is to Christians, and it's the answer is the KKK, pretty obviously. But someone said the Nazis, and she's like, "Well, that's right," and I'm like, the Nazis weren't a Christian group though; they're Aryans. I'm like, that's different religions.
It said God will is being done. It says on each of their Nazi paraphernalia in God's name or whatever it is.
Yeah, there were extremist Christians.
Definitely.
Oh, I can believe that.
They were the Aryan is just a thing to make them more signified of whiteness and more descent of Germanic and Nordic history.
That was when
Yeah.
I got replaced with the A and it became white people.
Wow, people.
Okay.
Oh my god.
So the things that they have in common, or
That's right.
the things that are missing. Sorry.
Yes, that's right. I'll state the prompt once more. Forsaken Arts category question 1. What crucial component is shared between the following? A treated cyan piece, that can be a weapon or armor, an unapplied animation seal, and a central Magitech combat frame.
Is nobody
Nobody is attempting a scholar's mate.
Well,
do you guys you said consciousness.
What does treated mean?
It's been like refined. It's already like the metallurgy is already completed, basically.
Okay.
I think it's mana or
It's not going to be
consciousness.
mana.
Yeah.
Mana would have nothing to do with the subject. Forsaken Arts.
No.
Okay.
I think it's a consciousness because you're either creating a consciousness out of nothing, which is probably taboo, or you're taking one.
But do the cyan weapons need a consciousness? Treated cyan?
Yeah, the cyan weapons and armor are most historically renowned for the consciousness inside of some of their more powerful weapons. The Saya, actually, what is your Saya lore, mister?
Sorry. It's a 1.
Okay, well, you don't know then, do you?
I guess I don't.
What's your Warcraft lore?
My Warcraft is a 2.
Well, you know they are renowned for having a special forging process.
Special. Okay. That's all I know.
Well, I actually know more than that, even though I have a cyan lore of 1
A Juan?
and a Warcraft lore of 2.
Okay.
I got the Cyan lore of 3.
And that's legal, right?
Who, what now?
In Gen, your personal knowledge as a player counts in game.
Yes, it does. You do, unless you want to role play it really strictly and pretend you don't know. I'm never going to tax you for knowing the game's lore.
Okay, so yeah, based on the 3 things, and it does say central Magian combat armor frame.
Combat frame, that's as in a mobile war frame, like a mechanized construct of some kind.
Yeah, and just the word frame tells me it's missing something. Like it's the outside, what goes in the middle. Same thing with the seal for animate. What goes in the middle? The armor thing. What are they all? I think it's got to be a conscious. It's probably gonna be something other, and it's gonna be like, oh shit. But it seems like that. What other thing would it be?
Shinnah,
seal, but then like what kind of seal? What for? What's its purpose?
No one's attempting a scholar's mate, so if you want to make a lore check, you can. Any particular lore you're looking for?
Um,
See, programming, direction, but direction how?
so
Yeah, lore in what? Question from where?
Oh, the category is Forsaken Arts, so that should give you some insight. But obviously, the question itself might have specific lore.
Crucial component do they share? It's
Forsaken.
crucial. It's a component, and they share it. Maybe not all the time, but I believe it's in the.
If it's Forsaken, then a consciousness would make sense because it's not always very. It could be considered taboo in other races.
Ooh, I just thought of another one though. Ooh,
Does it
yeah,
start with an S?
yeah, it does. It definitely starts with an S and it ends with an L for almost loser. So yeah, soul would probably be another really big one, especially for Forsaken Arts. So soul is probably the best answer, and consciousness is probably the next best answer, and some kind of like animating seal or something else is probably the next best answer, something like that.
Shin-Na, do you agree with Soul?
Did we have?
What was the? It was an applied seal for.
An unapplied animation seal.
It's ready to go. It's just missing a thing. It's just.
You guys have enough spell lore to know that animation spells include the animate material and merging spells, but also the author consciousness, which allows you to implant a consciousness into the seal or a memory.
So Cyan weaponry uses souls. The seal uses a consciousness, and the Magitech uses a consciousness. So I would say a consciousness because you can. Goes. Can I do a Warcraft lore check to know what a
Are you saying that
soul?
because soul doesn't go in it in one of the other ones?
Yeah, which lore check are you doing for that question?
Can I do a Warcraft lore to know if you can apply just a consciousness into a weapon and not just?
You can put an artificial consciousness, but that's not what Cyan weapons are known for.
Okay, then it's. I would say it'd be a soul then.
This is your Magian lore.
4.
You also note that given the answer of soul, it's also kind of a pun. It's a play on words in that central Magitech warframes lack a soul because they have their tact, and they're inferior because they don't use dark Magian tech.
I say soul, and we. I'm pretty confident we can do that special thing for it too.
Well, we can't because we just asked for a lore check.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Okie dokie.
We're gonna submit soul.
Agreed.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
Team 2
Gonna
answers
submit-
with a consciousness, and Team 1 does not answer.
Well, losers.
The judges elect your answer to be the most correct, awarding you 3 points and 1 point to Team 2. Well done, gentlemen.
Woohoo!
Forsaken Arts, question 2. Question 2.
Dos.
Which... Well, go ahead.
No, no.
Okay. Ooh, this one's hard. I'm sorry, never mind. Which celestial is most attributed to the subject matter of Kobo Kobayashi's work, Whispering Saints?
Well,
I don't fucking know.
I
You
have a
guys
ce-
have a. Celestial lore
That's
check.
what we came across earlier.
We have a celestial lore check, so I guess we're gonna have to use that.
You know that celestial is a reference not only to the celestials that are apostles that are walk the earth with you, but also all of the gods. So the overseers and the adjudicators.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
So which
Whispering
god?
Saints is not a piece of literature that is well renowned with either the order god or the elemental gods, to your best understanding, meaning that it can only belong to one of the arcane gods, death god, hell god, or void god.
Death, Hell, Void. And what's the name of the book?
The book is called Whispering Saints by Kobu Kubiyashi.
That sounds like a adept name.
No, that's a
Or no.
Magi name.
Magi?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, adepts have Indian or.
Oh, yeah.
By Kobo Kobayashi, Whispering Saints. Does that sound more satanic, death, or
Hell God.
Magians are more.
hell, death, and void? So void. So Whispering Saints. Almost want to think it's like the death god, a Whispering Saint, because the death god isn't inherently malicious. It's just if you die, I mean, there's rules you got to follow. So
The Hell God, it seems like it would have a more metal sounding book.
a Whispering Saint could be, a person that died, or so good or something or necessary that the hell god brings them back, or at
You guys
least
want to make an arcane lore check.
I
that guy has to do it. That
what-
Shinra guy has to do it.
What is your arcane lure?
5.
Well, you're banned then. If it's 5, how the fuck do you not know this one? You do know it.
He's like, oh, I just know it. I just know the.
I remember it vaguely. We talked about it before.
Very good. Yeah, since Morningstar's here, we may as well use his arcane lore, I guess. You recall having read the material many times. It's one of the most cited works of literature on a very misunderstood and center of far less attention than the other two. That, of course, means the Void God. With the term Whispering Saints refers to an alleged emissary of the Void God, known as Voidlings, called a Void Saint, oftentimes.
Yeah, that's right. We talked about it last campaign, or the last section of this campaign.
And you fought them this campaign. You fought an actual one of them.
Yeah.
This guy has only written about him.
Yeah, we've all seen one and didn't shat our pants.
Yep.
Speak for yourself, man.
You weren't there.
Okay, so what's your answer, wise guy?
I'm gonna tell him it's talking about the Void, specifically a Void
What-
Saint.
What's the question? Hold on. What's the question here?
Which celestial is most attributed to the subject matter of Kobu Kubayashi's work, Whispering Saints?
Oh,
So-
Void God.
Okay. The team one
We go with that.
answer. Sorry, what?
I agree. As a
Okay.
teammate, I agree. Yeah.
Team one answers Order God, which is incorrect. Team two guesses Death God, which is incorrect. Meaning the victor goes to team 3. That is 3 points for team tree, 0 for the other two.
We're up to 6. Although they can come back with one schooler, mate.
Schooler mitts.
For
But we
second
have a team now,
question tree,
a max +1.
Question Turkey Tree.
Aren't we at 9?
Aren't?
Aren't we at 9 now?
No, we're at Turkey Tree.
I'm at. Oh, never mind.
Using modern methodologies, extracting demonic essence can be physically adapted most potently into which form?
What you mean? You take demonic essence and you turn it into what material form? Like what
Can
is
be physically adapted most potently into which form?
that's
Demonic tonic.
yeah, demonic tonic. Gotta
I
be.
think that's the most potent. Are you sure?
Wait, no, what was that other stuff? There was demonic tonic and then there was what okay, here it is. What did the unnamed ones give us for taking our stuff? That's the answer. Let me look at my inventory because the unnamed ones gave us some stuff.
Can't do that.
What?
You're on
I-
stage. You can't look in your inventory on stage.
I don't need to like reach into my pocket and pull out a coin. I just in my mind I'm like, oh yeah, there it is. Got
You're a
it.
cheater skeeter.
It's like looking into your memory and remembering something.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Look. Um.
I don't have it in my mind.
Well, you're freaking slacking then, dude.
Jesus.
I wouldn't be surprised if I didn't write it down because I'm like, well, I'm never going to use that. Just Chanel will, so I'm sure he wrote it down. Yeah, and I didn't write it down. But
Okay. What's
however,
everyone's arcane lore? Except Shinar. Shinar already answered last time.
Uno.
arcane lore 1.
Yes. Juan. Okay. You
Same.
know the most potent form. I'm sorry. The least potent form would be spice. So demonic spice, which then is made more potent with a refined demonic powder. And then give me intelligence check. Okay, so I need to know, do you want to make a scholar's mate before I give you this clue? Because there might be a scholar's mate coming.
Man, I'm really annoyed that I didn't write that down. Like, so nobody has that
Same.
stuff that the unnamed ones get. So they gave it to us, and it doesn't. We just threw it on the ground. We're like, we don't need that.
1 second. Let me pull out my inventory.
It's not in group loot that I can see.
It is not. Or is it?
No.
No.
My inventory. Unless, do I have group loot in here?
I remember demonic tonic, but I don't remember anything else. There's a vial of black powder. Oh no, that was found at the fort.
That powder's banned.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So there's only 5 possible answers, and you know 3 of them are not what you're looking for. Do you remember the names of the last 2?
Yeah, you got the demonic tonic and shit.
The demonic shit.
Okay, is that your final answer?
No. No.
Trying to think. Demonic tonic. Demonic essence?
That is not a physical adaptation.
I don't know.
Demonic essence is what's being adapted.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, derp.
Demonic powder.
Demonic powder is known to be more potent than spice or rich spice, but it is not considered the most potent. It's going to be one of two others.
All I wrote in the thing is demonic spice and demonic tonic. I did write it in the notes.
From the unnamed ones?
Yeah, for finding a name. Oh, finding a name.
No, they gave us that when they took that container. We're like, hey, we paid for that container. And they're like, oh, well, here's some demonic. And I could have swore I wrote it. Oh, you know what? You know what? The thing I'm forgetting is that. Oh, right.
It was me.
I know exactly where I wrote it. I know exactly where I wrote it.
It was me.
No, I wrote it in the log.
Oh, no.
But as we know, the log doesn't save anything. So.
What? No, it does, I swear.
No, it doesn't, because there's nothing in the log. Like there's nothing in the log.
In the ROG.
So I started using it, and yeah.
Sure, I fixed that.
I don't know where else I would write. Training, no, I wouldn't write it in there. Wouldn't write it in passives. I didn't see it in group loot. I didn't put it in there. I don't know. Well, we don't know. We threw it on the ground because we said ew, gross. Because I didn't write it down, and Sadi didn't write it down, and Shinna wasn't there, obviously, so he wouldn't have written it down because he doesn't know. Oh, we got it. So
It was me. Okay, do you want to give a guess then?
I have demonic Kuzma. I mean, who knows? I mean, demonic breaks, demonic.
Well, there's gonna be a
Demonic-
scholar, so
Tonic.
you want the clue? You're gonna have to hope they get it wrong, unless you're willing to Scholar's Mate right now with a guess. Remember, if you guess wrong with the Scholar's Mate, you lose 2 points.
Yeah.
I guess we could wait for the clue. Demonic. There's something more than demonic tonic.
Yay or nay?
Yay or nay, what? Are we gonna Scholar's Mate? Absolutely not.
No, no,
We don't even know.
Are we doing the Scholar's Mate or no?
no
No.
scholars mate.
Okay.
We don't even know what name to say. We would be
Okay.
literally. We could say demonic tire.
Well, you know, demonic tonic is one of the two, but you don't know if that's the most potent. So it's a 50-50 shot, but if you get it wrong, you're gonna lose 2 points.
I don't know what the other one is. Demonic crystal. Demonic.
Wasn't it like Rich Tonic or something?
Nope.
No.
No, I wouldn't write it there. I wouldn't write it there. I wouldn't write it there.
No.
Yeah, I put it. Yeah.
And we said spice was the least of the strongest.
Yep, that's correct.
This guy has nothing in his inventory. Like literally nothing. What is crystalline soul?
That's a forging material.
Okay.
A ruby? I got a ruby.
No.
Demon blood? No.
Yeah, we don't know. So we're not doing the Scholar's Mate. So I guess somebody's gonna get 5 points. I guess.
Scholar's Mate with Team 2 answers. That would be what is demonic incense?
Incense. There we go. And that's exactly the stuff they gave us. Shit ton of us to demonic incense.
Okay, dokie. That is 5 points to them. So
Yeah,
the scores are 3, 9, and what's your current score?
6.
6. Okay, 3, 3, 9, and 6. Okie dokie.
Wait, how did they get 9?
Did we get two
They got
two
5
answers?
points, so they should only be at 7.
And we should be at 9.
Yeah, because we didn't
No,
we
they didn't decline their points, so they still have the 3 initially. They just got 5.
we kept
and
our
they-
points.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we still have our 3 points, so we are at 9.
Okay, so it's 3, 9, and 9.
Yep.
Okie dokie. Question 4. Forsaken Arts. Describe a dynamic method of parsing this granulated image and others like it. You are then shown a repeating series of images that look as though a gas. That look as though you're looking through a gas, and are being seen in a dull light that makes clear swirling eddies found within the surrounding gas. Also in the frame's background is a clear indication that the gas in this frame shows a distortion of a series of clear, two-dimensional shapes. This is actually a fucked up question.
Is there more information, or was that it?
That's technically it.
Okay. If that's it, then I'm gonna have to dive deep into some ghosting. It sounds.
Actually, I'm gonna throw you a bone here. That's actually remarkably close. I don't know how you managed to do that.
Because I know the lore and spells, bruh. A little bit.
Described by so your job is you've been shown basically what are clearly muddled images that look like gas distorting the eyesight of whatever you're looking through, and you're tasked with describing a dynamic method of parsing granulated images and others like it.
Shit. Well, let me pull my spells.
Yeah. That sounds like ghosting. Definitely.
Another
We're
one.
trying to parse it,
Sorry.
and we're trying to figure it out on how to correct it.
Basically, you know that there is real data that you're being shown right now. So you're tasked with how would you go about parsing this data when it comes in this form.
Parsing data.
Fuck it. Ghosting.
Okay. So if that's being used, can you tell if saturation is being affected?
So no, this has everything to do about you're being fed data that comes in the form of this image, but you're basically code breaking it.
Yeah, you need to be able to see through it so you can not be drunk.
That's a good way of putting it.
Reconstitute.
How do you undo that? If you can do that, how do you undo it?
I know you can do it with deliverance magic.
So this is not data about a location. This is just raw data, like information It's not like you're looking through a lens and there's simply a distortion in front of it. This is the data. There's nothing behind this. This is all you have.
Yeah.
Hey, Ulta, wouldn't
Yeah.
it be under reconstitute? Um,
In high magic?
and no, and ghosting, mutate, uh, mutate consciousness branch.
I completely skipped that branch. Um,
Revive a compromised consciousness tainted by ghosting arts or sorcery. Does not require a check. Can also target environmental memories.
I will go ahead and say
memory.
this is a poorly worded question. I'll go ahead and say this is not a corrupted consciousness.
Yeah, I didn't think so either.
Oh.
And again, this is not anything that's been corrupted. This is raw data. It's intended to look this way. There's nothing wrong with this data.
Yeah. You're just trying to turn it into information, right?
Right.
You're trying to
Yeah.
Okay.
understand its meaning to be able to read it, basically. It's in a language that you can't read, maybe.
Yeah, that's a better way to word it, yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm in the wrong place. I need to be in, well, it used to be Sage Magic, so maybe it's High Magic? Because you're trying to parse through it. I mean, Deliverance is also sounds like it has a thing that does that specifically. I thought. Um,
Usually deliverance is going to do that for you though by correcting or rectifying something. And again, if you rectify this information, it's going to look exactly the same. There's nothing wrong with this information.
none of that. Yeah, no, no, none of that. No. No. No, 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 none of that. No.
Does anybody think they have a good inkling or a clue they want to discuss? Because we can just move on with this question, because this one is kind of difficult because the clues are not very good.
Well, I think I found the cause of it, perhaps, but now I'm looking for the undo part. But I mental is large. Yeah, it's not undo. Stabilize. Okay, okay. Uh, are these scrambled transmissions? Is that a fair?
No, like I mentioned, there's
Yeah.
nothing to rectify. You rectify or unscramble this, it's going to look exactly the same. The question specifically is describe a dynamic method for parsing this granulated image into basically legible data.
How do you get a key? Because I was looking at interpolate wave, and it says detects light waves outside the visible spectrum. If you can detect waves, and you can arrange that in such a way, blah blah blah. It says you can't do it without a key. You cannot interpret them without some kind of key. Like, what's a key?
Oh, it's like the idea is that it's built off normal like cryptography or whatever. You need a key a private and a public key for shared key encryption, basically.
Okay, here we go. How about gather resonance from High Magic Resonation? You can parse out any latent mana signature in the area being broadcast as high magic or as transmissions between Magitech. Can be used preemptively or after sensing mana signature. Isolating source of mana is determined by strength of signal being received, integrity of the signal, and uses an intelligence check. Potency scales. With parsing ability, precision, location, source, and detection of multiple signals through noise, intelligence check is required to parse scrambled signatures, which this does not appear to be. And if you're going to be parsing out, I guess you can detect. Oh, and then separately you can detect life force, necro force, or chaos. So that's a possibility. Gather resonance, maybe.
Yes, but does it fit the theme of Forsaken Arts?
Yeah.
Sorcery would be a forbidden, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you got? What do you got in sorcery?
Uh, I don't yet. I was looking. But maybe a possession? No.
Do you want to make a scholar's mate, or do you want a lore check?
Let
Well, we definitely don't have a scholar's mate. We don't have any. We don't have an answer. So
yeah.
No one else is going to attempt a scholar's mate. So any particular lore you want to verify with?
well, we're looking for
It's a
the
spell.
ability to parse out or to interpret something that we can't understand. So I have no idea.
I have a spellcraft of 3, but I just don't know what to apply it to.
So yeah, that's what I mean. If you don't have a specific question, if you ask me a specific question, I ask you
Yeah.
what the relevant lore is to that. If you have no specific question, you just give me a lore, and then I'll tell you if the lore is relevant.
Spellcraft, of course.
Okay, so spellcraft is going to basically spellcraft 3 would lead you to believe that parsing information that cannot be done by human means it needs to be done through artificial means or by superhuman means. So you'd have to have inhuman intelligence or perception to parse inhuman data, basically.
Ooh.
so like a dedicated Magitech system to do this with like multiple consciousnesses or something like that.
That could work.
Okay, so there's a possible answer.
Is there any?
I guess we're getting really wild. I guess if you knew somebody that could parse the data, you could just possess them.
Or
Yeah.
or you could just get mega crazy and transmute Caecilios and kind of figure it out that way.
Yeah, well, alchemy. You can always alchemy it.
Yeah.
How else?
Let's just see how would it be with alchemy.
We got the really weak ass high magic thing, and then what did we just get just now? Which is a possibility.
You suggested basically an artificial consciousness.
Oh right, a series. Yeah, a series of artificial consciousnesses to work on that nonstop, 24 hours at different angles and all that.
So yeah, like regular computers use binary to speak with each other. Magitech uses whatever the equivalent of how consciousness communicate with one another, transient thoughts, basically. So these particular thoughts are not special in that they're not understood any differently. Like if the message is hi, I'm over here, all they're doing is they're telling you hi, I'm over here in a different way. In this case, it uses swirling gas as way of communicating. So you simply need what to understand that type of encryption or whatever.
A key.
A key.
Yeah, you need to be embedded with the key. So if you know that this wisp of smoke does that movement, you know what that means. Eat my ass or whatever. But
That's correct.
so you need to have some kind of bond with it, I guess. And I guess if you like a telepathic synchronization or something.
Um, no, because unless you can interpret that, if you can already interpret that, you don't need anything additional. Telepathy just lets you communicate simultaneously. It doesn't mean anything about parsing information.
In alchemy, where it says transmute reinforcement, um, provides dimensional barrier in the form. Never mind. Well, no, it doesn't work.
Yeah, the question is,
Doesn't
I
work.
guess it's difficult because it's like really you kind of have to know what it's driving at. It's not. It doesn't necessarily have anything to do with spellcraft. This is the Forsaken Arts category. So the answer may have nothing to do with magic, basically.
Magecraft.
Do y'all want to go ahead and move on, or
Well, I mean, I guess another way would obviously be to what do you call it? Ask a demon for do it. Uh, ask for divine. You can either ask a demon to do it.
Oh
I guess
yeah.
make a deal, some kind of deal. Or you could ask for divine assistance, because I'm pretty sure you can ask the order god for like insight.
yeah.
If you're an order god acolyte, you could ask. There is a
So the difference is that's not going to provide you a dynamic method. That's just going to be give me the answer, please. In other words, if you just ask the order god, they don't need to even know what the data is. They just need to, you just basically asking for the information.
and that's the same thing as the demon, and that's not the same as parsing out the
Not
information.
really, no, no.
So if it's not really spell raft and it's not really celestial, then it seems kind of like it's the artificial intelligence thing.
Can we do a Magecraft lore check?
What is your Magecraft lore?
A tree.
Yeah, you can basically make an encryption method of data that can only be interpreted because Mage Tech communicates with thoughts, but how Magitech thinks is dependent on how the consciousness is designed from the ground up. So, make a consciousness or a personality is what I was looking for that is capable of translating this information. Because the problem with just a consciousness is the consciousness doesn't by itself translate anything. It just understands it. That doesn't guarantee that the consciousness is then capable of also understanding whatever your type of thoughts are. It's because the Magitech artificial consciousness is going to think in gas and shapes. It's not going to think in words and language unless it knows how to translate them with like basically a personality or something like that. Anyway, we'll just go ahead and skip that one. I'll rewrite that one later. Instead, we'll move on to question 5. Forsaken Arts, question 5. How can perfect, perfectly prepared meat be made to produce the taste, odor, and feel of rotting meat in your mouth?
Just leaving it in there for 5 days.
Yeah, just leave it
Probably
outside.
not gonna have anything to do with Forsaken Arts.
Leave it outside in the heat for 5 more days. I mean, fuck, duh.
Well, if that's the answer you want to go with, go for it.
No, no, just being smart ass.
Well, that
It's
feel like the definite ghosting, like mutate consciousness. Where is it?
I was gonna say a demonic spell that just turns it into meat, rotting meat in your mouth. Circle of gluttony.
It's only made to produce the taste, odor, and feel. It doesn't have anything to do with changing the meat.
Taste, odor, and feel is what we're talking about. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, I'm very familiar with this one. This is going to be probably, I think, induce illusion. Where's the one where you get to pick all the senses? Where is it?
Domination?
No, it's a ghosting illusion, but you have to pick how many senses it affects.
Yeah, you had it. That's the right one.
Illusion.
Who, me or him?
Nope.
Okay.
Radius. Induced illusions like hypnosis. Yep, designed by casters. Just check it back radius. Spell is created does not saturate. Impair senses. Okay, for each sense. There we go. Yeah. So induced illusion. Okay, what's the difference between inscribe illusion?
It could require sealing.
Onto a seal. I don't think it's really relevant. I mean, it's just like, how would you best do this? Well, I would use induced illusion with what were the three things that it affected?
How would you get perfectly prepared cooked meat to be made to produce taste, odor, and feel of rotting meat without altering the meat?
Yeah, taste, odor, and feel. Yeah, I would use the induced illusion, ghosting. I'm sorry, I would use ghosting, illusions, induced illusion, and I would apply or cast the spell on the meat of taste, odor, and texture. That
So you're
was
saying you cast the illusion on the meat?
No, no, not on the meat, on the person.
well, yeah.
Okie dokie.
For
Did you want to
the-
go for a scholar's mate, or did you want a
three,
clue?
and that's for the three sensory things there, because that only affects the person's mind, not the meat. So yeah, what do you guys think about going scholars made on that one?
Scholars made it is.
Okay, we're doing it.
Okay. No one else competes with a scholar's mate. So your answer is perfectly correct. That is 5 points to you, making the scores now 3, 9, and 14.
Oh.
Wait, that means the judges didn't say there was room for improvement.
No.
Okay, that's pretty good.
That means we need one more point.
Pretty good. I knew that one right away because I actually have a spell that I made that uses that one.
You like to make people's meat rot?
No, it's not a meat one. It basically what did I make? Oh, Lumos has it. It creates up to 3 copies of me that, for all intents and purposes, are real.
Sweet.
No.
So you come up and you hit me. You feel like you hit me, but obviously I don't take damage because that's just an illusion.
Yeah, dummy.
Pretty cool illusion.
It's very costly though.
Okie dokie. Forsaken Arts, question sax.
Saxophone.
For what purpose can a greater elemental be ritualistically enshrined?
For what purpose can a greater elemental be ritualistically enshrined?
Huh.
Wait.
Well, we've got 4
Wait.
celestials.
What was the first part again?
For what purpose can a greater elemental be ritualistically enshrined?
Oh,
This is
greater
Forsaken Art,
elemental.
question 6. Final answer question.
Elemental. Let me go and find my thing. Where did it go?
It would likely be probably in recognition from the elemental gods. It could be one.
Let's.
Commendations from the elemental gods.
Is elementalism I don't have that sheet. I messed up.
It was me.
For what purpose would greater elementals be ritualistically enshrined?
See,
And and ritualistically enshrined means
I can't answer that unless you want to do a lore check.
okay, ritualistically enshrined. Okay, so
Oh,
enshrined means like joined or hooked up with.
if I could, do you think? Never mind. I think I found it. Never mind. Sorry.
It was me.
Summons.
To make a shrine to that elemental's specific god.
Do you guys want to go with that answer?
Oh, like you're saying in like
What it?
what do you call it? Like, appeasement to the elemental god or in offer or what do you call it?
Well, let's use our magecraft, or let's use our celestial lore.
Yeah, I agree.
Since we got max, just
Okay, well, there's going to be a scholar's mate.
shoot.
Yeah, because I
And
don't have
he wants to try to tie you up so that they're not losing again.
well, great, because even though we're high level elementalists, we don't have the answer on because we don't even know what a ritualistic enshrinement is. So yeah,
Would this be under the prayer and arcane thing? Do you think, or
It's not a technical term.
not a technical term? Okay.
It's actually it's a technical term, but ritualistically enshrined is a euphemism for a technical term.
yeah. It might also be just like when you're like maybe you can merge elementals as well. So that might also be a because it's why would you or when would you?
Yeah, for what purpose? Remember, it has to do with you
What?
can't just give any purpose. It has to be related to the subject matter. So, Forsaken Arts in this case.
Yeah.
What purpose can a greater elemental be ritualistically enshrined?
Oh, okay. So ritualistically entranced, so like captured. So for what purpose can the greater elemental be ritualistically enshrined? For what purpose? Probably
For virgin
for
blood.
sacrifice, uh, or barter. I don't know if those are two separate answers.
No, those are the same answer.
Um, I guess. I think that's probably my answer as I interpret. I think
Kind of like a tribute.
it sounds like what it's saying is, for what purpose would you, ritualistically capture a greater familiar? I think
Wouldn't you
That's
get
correct.
a type of blessing if you did that, or
You're
type
doing
of
it in a ritualistic way, so it could be for probably not for a boon, because if it was for a boon, you probably wouldn't need to capture it. You would probably have some other means by which to
like
join with it.
The only problem with that is sacrifice is a generic thing to do. So that can be done with familiars. That can be done with Raya or other orchestrates.
Yeah,
Why would you want to do it to a greater elemental?
yeah, a greater elemental.
I'm
Yeah,
sure it'll provide some type of buff, but I
yeah.
just
Why would you want to like ritualistically capture a greater familiar? Well, didn't Well, I don't know if you did that when you subdued those greater familiars, if that's technically considered a ritualistic
It would be.
enshrinement. It
It
would
would.
be.
It would be.
Okay, so I guess the easiest answer is, well, to make it your own, or to make it have it
to have it as a familiar
uh,
or a follower.
yeah, have it, it's now your, as an elementalist.
Well, if you're talking about the Forsaken Arts, making it
Yeah.
your follower, you would possess it.
Oh, right, because we're thinking from an elementalist standpoint. We got to think from just an orchestrate standpoint. So yeah, you would do that so that you could possess it on your own, because you wouldn't be able to subdue it, right? Or can you?
You would not be able to subdue it, so possessing it would be your only option? Question mark.
Because only element and elementalist.
Only if you want to make it your follower. And I want to counterpose. Ritualistic enshrinement is not necessary for making it your follower. You don't need to enshrine it to possess it.
Yeah, that would just make it a little easier.
Well, you can if you're enshrining it, you might be using it as like a soul to make something more powerful.
Like to put it into like a weapon or an armor or a.
Yeah,
Yeah. So okay. So for what purpose? Yeah, as a Yeah, because you could use it as a buff. I guess you could use some applied whateverness to, yeah. Because I weren't one of those like applied to a sword or something? There was a greater
Yeah.
elemental or something in a sword or something.
Yep.
So
Mhm.
there's one reason that you might want to basically capture one is to apply one or some of its effect to equipment. Um, Obviously, to barter it to get something better, I guess, because Greater Elemental is pretty good.
Well, it'll add effects, and then you can have basically a consciousness. Oh, I don't know if it's considered a consciousness or a soul, but it'll be in there. Um, I
So,
don't
what's
know
our
where I was
best
going with that.
answer so far? Yeah, why would you grab one of these things? And we had to upgrade equipment. That's our best answer so far. Also to barter. I think that's actually a pretty good answer, because if you have a greater familiar and a seal or something, um, is that count as ritual enshrinement?
I'm going to say yes, since you basically put the nail on the head there. Yes, ritual enshrinement is basically a euphemism for seal or bind. The question here is again, why would you risk trying to seal a greater elemental, which is extremely dangerous, if all you're trying to do is sacrifice it? It's easier if you're just trying to get sacrifices. Orchestrate souls are worth more than elementals, and orchestrates are easier to subdue and possess and sacrifice than
but that elemental is more powerful than the
right.
orchestrate. So if you're creating a weapon or something or armor,
Exactly. So why would you bother to seal it instead of just if you're just trying to sacrifice something in
Yeah.
the Forsaken Arts territory, people are fair game basically.
Yeah,
So
I
there's
don't.
no reason to yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think we're talking about sacrificing it anymore. That's not part of our solution. I don't think anymore.
So definitely using it. So would it putting it in a sword could be sacrificing it, or it would just
No, you'd be enshrining it if you
enshrining
did
it?
that.
Okay, so yeah, there.
So yeah, putting it in, yeah, adhering it to equipment for a buff or something is a possible solution. And what was the other one? Barter.
Yeah, that would be the same as sacrifice.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, because
Yeah.
like, why would you go through all that stuff just to give it away? It's like, well, for this really sweet ass fucking sword, or for this training.
Oh shit!
No, because the orchestrates would be worth more anyways. So
Yeah.
You would enshrine it in a sword to make it an elemental weapon.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, it's basically what they were saying. Yeah.
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 And the bonus to that is that it's elemental, so that's not using mana.
Mhm.
If you're looking for that level of specificity, and the bonus is that
And you don't have to be an elementalist to use those elementals with that weapon.
right.
Do you?
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
No.
We already talked about that, Joshua, didn't we?
I mean, I know how it works, but I think you're missing a step.
Um.
Oh wait, no, it has to be an elementalist, not an elemental.
Um, both will work, but you're still missing the crucial thing.
Yeah, I think there is a requirement to wield an elemental weapon.
Isn't it a
Um,
training though?
Nope.
No.
I think it's an elemental level.
Nope.
Oh, it's the fucking the Soul Blade Attunement.
No.
Oh.
I mean, technically, yes, but that's not the answer. Technically speaking, if you fuse with an elementalist soul, then yes, you do inherit elemental powers. But there's no dark magians probably don't even know that, so it doesn't matter.
Unlimited power.
Um,
So yeah, you definitely have half the answer right. Um, so if someone answers better than you, then they'll get 3 points and you'll get the one.
all right, what do we
Actually,
have?
this is a scholar's mate, so
Yeah, what do we
uh,
have?
you're gonna have to beat them in the intelligence roll.
Yeah, what do we have so far?
Basically, weapon upgrade.
A weapon upgrade. What else?
Or yeah, equipment upgrade, whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um,
Would there be a blessing that applied to no? Because you're not. You have to be an elementalist to get the blessing. No.
well, I mean, would an elemental ever, like a greater elemental, be like loose, going hog wild?
Yeah, because we fought two of them in this campaign.
Because that would be another reason you might want to ritualistically enshrine an elemental, because it's creating chaos and it's hurting people.
That's a good answer, but that's not related to the subject matter.
Which is, yeah, right. It's forbidden. It's like, well, it's not really forbidden. That's just really nice.
Holy infusion cannot be dispelled.
Which
by-
I guess would be forbidden in a forbidden game, right?
Ban.
'Cause
Hella
being
ban.
nice is
That answer's
forbidden.
ban.
Okay, I mean, well, I think circular logic should never be banned.
Well, too
Okay,
bad.
so far, weapon upgrade. Yeah, because if you're a regular workshop, you can't bond with it or anything or get blah blah, and you basically have it forever. Um,
You could use it in a piece of Magitech.
I feel like the best answer has to do with something
How
with the.
would you use it in the Magitech?
Say again?
How would you use it in the Magitech?
You would basically use it as a conscious to be an authentication or something.
No, that's the same thing as the weapon equipment upgrade.
Well, what about if you had like a fire elemental, greater fire elemental, and you put that in a central Magian combat frame,
Okay.
and you're like, hey, I'm gonna integrate I'm gonna ritualistically enshrine it into that combat thing. So now
Okay.
it and that combat frame are now one.
Yeah. You don't control its behavior though, unless it's possessed. In which case, we're going back to step again. If you're just going to straight up possess it, you don't need the combat frame, and you don't need to enshrine it. If you're just going to straight up possess it.
But then somebody could jump in the combat frame and have like the abilities of the greater elemental.
How?
Well, because the greater elemental isn't enshrined into the Magitech, like it doesn't control the Magitech. There's still a pilot, but the pilot has the control of.
Yeah, that's right. You both are on the right track, but that you're missing that step. How do you get the Magitech to get it to do the elementalist stuff? Because unless it's possessed, the elemental is not going to cooperate.
Oh, I think the only thing I know of that does that is awaken nature, probably.
Forbidden.
Transfer transcendentalism. Oh, right, forbidden. Oh, let's look at that's
No, that was it. You had it.
transcendentalism.
That's the step. Yeah.
Transcendentalism, awaken.
Yeah.
Get the exact name.
Yeah, not just the weapon or equipment, but also tomes, staves, constructs. You enshrine it in one of those, and then you use transcendentalism to use elementalist abilities against the will of the elemental, because you're transcending the limitation.
Right, that gives you the ability to use stuff you wouldn't normally have the ability to use.
Right.
Like, I don't have that technique. Fuck it, I'm gonna use this. I don't have elemental. Fuck it, I'm gonna use this.
Yeah, that's all tomes are basically, and staves. They give you stuff that you otherwise don't know on your own, and transcendentalism is the magic that lets you do it.
Okay, so that's what we're going with. We're going with why would you enshrine a Hoodle Machoodle? And you do that to upgrade equipment and to
Yeah, manufacture Magitech or
and
Forsaken.
to manufacture magic and to also I guess now that we've said it, inscribe within tomes or staves
Yeah,
these abilities.
that's basically manufacturing. Yeah, basically.
Okay, so but is that all? Those are like is that one answer or is that?
So if you only gave one half, they probably wouldn't accept it as a scholar's mate, so that would fail. You lose 2 points, and then the other person would be able to answer. But with the both of them together is a total answer. Yeah.
Yeah. With the transcendentalism, you're like, okay, you would do this, and then use transcendentalism to be able to extract these functions without being an elementalist,
Exactly.
which is basically like free magic.
Yeah, so that's why it's Forsaken, because elementalists have to dedicate their lives to be able to create these elementals, first of all. And elementalists are all dedicated to the balance, and these elementals are supposed to be basically helping to avert natural disaster and stuff like that. And if
And
you,
you're a primordial god because it's
yeah,
restricted.
yeah, and you're taking that the labor of someone's faithful work, and you're putting it in what is inarguably a weapon, and literally weaponizing the virtue of the elementalist against the initial design. That's why it's considered forsaken. It's in bad taste, but it's also very, very effective and highly sought after and rare.
Yeah.
I wonder
Okay.
if I could do that with. Ooh, that'd be cool.
Well, then that is our final answer. Anybody disagree?
That's our final answer. Should I do
I'll
the?
tell you the questions.
Bad, because you still got to win that int roll, because they're doing a scholar's mate. So roll
Right.
your die.
So what's that? Shinna and Saudi both have 10 intelligence, right?
I don't have 10 intelligence. I have an 8.
All right. They
Saudi
rolled a 4, so that's a 12. Good luck.
Here I go.
two ties. You need a 3. You need a 3 to win.
Okay, it's the tie. Roll again. I got another 4.
Hooray!
Woohoo!
Mission accomplished. You buzz in just before the other team does, and they slam their hands in frustration as you recite before the judges the most articulate answer as accepted, almost akin to a lecture from a professor, a tenured professor in the Forsaken Arts. Well done, gentlemen.
Woohoo! Wait. I gotta do this.
Even without Q, I was in the background holding up holographic cues and graphs and things like that.
That was.
I want to get an agua.
If you're gonna get an agua, I'm
All right, gentlemen, I gotta get off. Fun playing with y'all.
Right. Take care
Dude, you're
now.
later, bro. So was that the last Scholars Mate, or was there another question?
No, we win.
We're doing pretty good at the. Wait, are we doing pretty good at these? Seems like we need a lot of help, except for that one. We did good on the one.
You're getting lucky. And well, actually, no, you're carrying that. You're carrying us for sure.
No, I only answered the one and just happened to be the right answer. But that was just one. The rest, we've been guessing and researching and asking lots of questions. I think we're sucking. If this was a real game show and you had to ring in and be like, "Hey, here's your answer," like I would have rung in and guessed and said the ghosting thing. I would have felt fairly confident with that one. With just in my memory. But anything else, I would have been like,
Yeah, well, I mean, the game is probably, unless you're performing the Scholar's Mate, it's more like Final Jeopardy is how it's meant to be played.
yeah. So done.
I like the way it goes because for players like me who don't know the lore as well, it's
Yeah.
a good chance to learn, and like you said, it gets me to look through the spells.
Yeah, that's actually why I wanted to basically put a form of Scholar's Mate in kind of every campaign if I can. I just need to figure out how to do that.
Yeah, so you can just look through the documents.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
you could have stuff like with actual loot or something tied to like riddles where the riddle's lore related or something or spell related, and the prize, is something good like I don't know, 5 skill points or something.
yeah, we could definitely do that.
So it's like, oh, it opens. Okay, who's within a medium AOE of you right now? Oh, well, I am. Okay, well, whoever does this thing gets the reward inside. Because it's got to be competitive, otherwise, like, well, I don't do it.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. We need something special because there's a lot of lore in this game, and the lore really does kind of matter. Um, so we need to have a special feature in the game to get you to learn the lore faster. And so some version of Scholar's Mate on like a session to session basis would be useful.
yeah, and yeah, the reward needs to be, I think, something fairly substantial so that people like want to do it.
Yeah, we could be you could trade in a certain number of victories for like a class title. Um,
I was thinking something like that, or for a training. Although
yeah,
training,
or yeah, skill points wouldn't be terrible.
So because
and yeah,
that'll encourage players like you know, Jack or something who just wants to go and smash things up to maybe upgrade their person.
or like
Play
I want to spell, but I'm at -4 spell points. I play this game, and I win or get second or whatever, and I get 5 spell points.
Mm-hmm.
I can now buy a mastered forbidden spell with my 1 spell point. So to me, that's really valuable, and that's something I would be like, yeah, yeah, what, yeah. We got 15 windows open. What do you losers got open right now?
Well, I think I'm actually going to cut down the cost of spells in general by like 33%. Um, Basically make forbidden cost as much as intermediate and so forth. Um, and then on top of that, basically kind of like what was in Scholars Mate, a lot of those spell demonstrations were neat, but they're not practical in the game at all. Um, but I don't want to discourage people from making stuff like that. So the best way to do that, um, you can make compound spells like that right now, and there's not people don't really do it because they don't really. You have to be playing a while for you to have the patience to learn the spell creation system. So we
Hmm.
don't really have a lot of people using any compound spells.
Unless I made them, they're in the archive, and you chose them.
Yeah, pretty much. That's almost it. Actually, that's literally all there
Yeah,
is.
literally, yeah.
I don't know that we actually had anybody who actually took the time. I think we had maybe one person who looked at the spell creation document um, at like in depth and tried to learn it. We've had a couple people look at it and they picked up on the whole purchasing power and the potency, and they picked up on that really quickly, but they just didn't stay long. Um, but nobody, I don't think anybody's really put the time into it that you have, Kronos or Morningstar, quite yet. Um,
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, I looked at the spell thing, and I went, that looks really complicated. I'm gonna start with that first. I'm gonna play a Magian. I'm gonna focus completely on spells, and I'm gonna jump into whatever that is because that's crazy. I don't even understand any of that.
yeah, it's kind of an intended effect at this point because we kind of just want people to use preset characters. So
Yeah, it's a
we really we're biting ourselves in the foot or in the butt here because we don't encourage people to do the character design because we know it's an obstacle.
yeah, it's a little intimidating at first because there's a lot to learn, especially just right off the bat. Um, but I don't know. I like having the presets, and then if like you can modify it before the game, take some out and put some in, that would be cool too.
Well,
Yeah, I guess I'm different in that I don't think it's really that complicated. It's just the well has been poisoned so badly by other games that just give you pre-written spells
Mm.
that the concept of creating your own spell is completely alien to people. But
yeah, because
basically all
if
the
the
magic
game
follows
does
the same
do that
formula.
crap.
It's yeah, just mastery and potency, and then just read the effects. Like, if we didn't have mastery and potency and all the spells were the same, it would basically just look like 5th edition, pretty much. Except it'd have generation setting.
Yeah, because you just have there's a ice sphere, a fireball, lightning bolt, and an earthquake. And at level 4, they all do 16 damage, and at level 12, they do 30 damage, and at level 17, they do 42 damage, and then at level 20, they max at 54 damage.
Yeah,
But-
so the approach here, I guess I don't know if it needs to be questioned here, but I've always found that D&D's spells like Witch Bolt and Lightning Arrow and Lightning Bolt all sound like the same spell to me. The game just counts them different because they're different spell levels, but they're the same school and they do the same lightning damage. They just do more or less damage, and they call it a different spell. And that just seems really, really underwhelming to me.
Yeah,
All the spells in Gen are completely different from one another.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I noticed whenever I started playing Baldur's Gate is that a lot of those ones, it's just like I almost got 2 of the same spell.
Pretty
sometimes.
much, yeah.
Yeah.
You get Firebolt, and then you buy Scorching Flame, and it's just 3 Firebolts. And then you buy Fireball, and it's just 2 Scorching Flames. And then that's 3 different spells. And then people say, there's so many different spells in the game, I can't believe it. Like, I can't. I don't,
It is
the
the difference.
standards are so fucked that I just don't know what to do.
Well, see, I look at Gen like any other experience in life that you haven't experienced before. When you go up to have that experience, and somebody that's experiencing that says, "Do you have any questions?" I always find that ironically funny because I think to myself, "I'm not an expert. Well, why the fuck would I have any questions about something I know nothing about? What anything? What would I ask?" And it's not until after or while you're doing the thing that you're like, well, now I have questions.
Yeah.
'Cause now I know something about it. So that's
Yeah,
why I like about giving somebody a preset instead of even giving the option to build a character. Like, here's a preset. Watch how other people that are more experienced play or play a little while and go, oh, okay, I see. Okay, I see how you can do this. Because it took me a while to get on board, figuring all the stuff out, and I had to keep playing to go and start learning and exploiting these different components of the character so that I can use my character in a more rounded, robust, and efficient way, not only in battle, but also
Great success.
yeah, because
Yeah.
it was only till now that I figured out that you could combine different schools into a compound spell. So I thought you would have to use the same school to do the compound.
No.
So
Oh, but I think we did have a limit on 3 spells max per compound spell.
I don't know that we did. I think it was just certain schools can't be compounded together.
Well, it didn't have a limit at all at some point, and then we went, well, there should probably be a limit based on intelligence.
So that limit is regards to how many different compound spells you can learn. So that's what that limit is for, because otherwise you can basically just compound spell your entire library. And
Well, I
you
mean,
can-
ideally that would be pro choice. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately we want that. We just don't want it to be broken, so we put in a limit, even though that's not really a mountain anybody's trying to climb right now.
That's because I'm not playing applying arts character where if I'm using plying arts, all the characters plying arts are compound. That is the absolute most boss school to compound tri-pound. Yeah, actually, you can't try plying. You can compound like 6 of the spells, which is awesome, but then you need 2 of them to be individual, and you can't triple up.
Yeah. Even though that's nice to compound them, as a mechanic, we don't want to basically minimize the whole school as just a single compound spell. So we do want to kind of change that in the future to make
Well,
it.
no, but you can't join. You can only join these two together, and they can't join with anything else. And these two, like they can't interchange with anything else. And you can't put it with anything else because their effects are just so different.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
only those that can go together.
Et cetera, et cetera. Yeah.
But still, somebody has to figure that out.
Yeah, that's why we play test, because now we know that. Okay.
It's the meta.
The next session, I think we should go ahead and start in the restricted zone, so we can get Morningstar back on us.
Okay, so we. I think I still need to finish my arena battle
Okay.
because
I don't know what it. No, you committed. You did the submission on the guy. You won that, right? There's
Oh,
still
that's
just
right. That's right. He went in for a. That's right, because you wanted to finish. Right. He went in for a submission and he lost, which ended up in him being caught in my submission.
That's correct.
Oh, right, and I didn't expect that to happen, but it did.
What we were gonna do next, I thought we were gonna do that obstacle course, but well, if anything, we can hold that off, and we can get
Vagrant
Morningstar.
Vestiges, yeah, Vagrant Vestiges is fun. It's really fun, especially when there's lots of us playing. So yeah, if we get Shinnah,
Yeah, so if Jack shows up,
Alton,
if enough people show up, we can definitely just continue the tourneys. But yeah, if nobody's here, then we should probably just get Morningstar and do the main mission.
All right. Sounds
yeah. So
like
I won the Power 3 unarmed tournament, which is the second highest tournament, I guess, because I can't generate Power 4 at all. And honestly, I don't think that I'd want to even in the tournament because then they'd be like, "Hey, wait a minute, who's that? That person has to be known. A person that can generate Power 4, that person's known, like, right? You'd think."
They used to be, but since we've upped the power scale to 10 from 7, Power 4 is probably just, really good warrior. I'd say you need at least a 5 to kind of be the normal threat that we're looking for. So I'm seeing you can get 5s with body and memory, but you just suffer a lot of speed loss with memory.
Yeah, I guess body's not so bad with the speed. Like I can live with that, but then endurance at a 2, I think I get murked. That hurts.
That's true.
And then I go to memory because I looked at that too. I'm like, ooh, 5. I'm like, oh, if they got a 4 speed, I'm gonna get I won't be able to parry or counter.
my spirit.
That's
And
the
like,
risk.
so I kind of have no choice and to bite the bullet on the Power 3 scale and just have everything. We're all just gonna go at Power 3s because
you can still boost your speed when you're using memory with your elementalism, right?
well, we said that might be cheaty.
No, the acceleration elemental.
Yeah, we said that might be cheaty, and if I got caught,
Oh no, I thought you were talking about in general, not in the tourney.
oh yeah, I meant in the tourney.
So in the tourney, a 1 speed deficit will disable parries. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I want everything available because I've fought a tourney before where I won with 2 hit points, so everything counts.
Yeah.
Everything counts, and if I beat the shit out of the guy in the first couple of attacks, I'm like, you know what? That's because everything counts, and I used it. No,
Awesome.
I'm not. I'm playing around. So yeah, that's why I decided to limit myself at spirit. Even though I was really tempted to go power, but I would be down 1 endurance. And if we got into a battle of attrition, a back and forth, that that amount of damage more that he's going to be doing to me could cost me the battle. Of course, I could switch Catalyst the next
Yeah,
turn.
you can always switch catalyst if you need.
But I'd be down probably 2 attacks by the time I'd be like, okay, yeah, this isn't going to be effective.
Honestly, I think I'd prefer to balance it around what you have here, where only the power is limited and you can get away with anything else, so that you can outspeed your opponent and stuff. It's just that I don't have those stats for the NPCs to fight you with. So right now their stats are even across the board. Otherwise, it would be normal. Use your raw stats here.
You're talking about where in the tourney I would have a power 3, but I would also have a 4/6/4.
Yeah, totally.
Whereas if I was using body, I would have to. I would
Only
have
your
to fight
power would
them
be
at
limited, so
4.
you'd have to have a 3-2-3-3.
Well, I'd be in the 4 tournament, right? So it'd be a
Yeah.
4-2-3-3.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. And that'd be 4-4-2-2. Yeah, I mean, or like 3-3-2-2. But I think a 3's across the board. It's the safe play. Because I'm always thinking it's going to be a battle of attrition, back and forth, and unless I figure out a way to get out of a cycle, I'm probably not going to make it. And I wanted to have the cushion of I didn't lose 1 or 2 attacks by having an endurance that was a little bit lower, so you got another 20 hit points on me.
What was your pose? All right then. Thanks for coming, and hopefully next week everybody will be here. But I'll go ahead and let you guys go for now.
Alright.
Okay, and then does any Salami, you still want to play Tuesday, like 10 o'clock, or no? That's not a good time.
10. That would be. Yeah, it's not a good time for me. I have to pick up my fiance like a little bit right afterwards, so.
I think he means 10 Pacific Standard, right? So that's gonna be 12
Yeah.
our time.
10 in the morning. Yeah.
In the morning.
Pacific time.
Yeah, so that'll be noon for us, Ernie.
Oh, yeah.
11. So yeah, that's right around the time that I'd be
Okay.
picking up my fiance from work. So
Is there a better day of the week that works at around that time?
not really, no. Well,
What about later in the day?
later in the day, like after 2 my time. So that's 1 your time.
12 my time. So yeah, 12 is 2 o'clock your time. So yeah, like 12:30, 1 o'clock, something like that.
Yeah, like around that time, cause my fiance, she gets off of work either at like 12:30 or 1.
Yeah.
And then sometimes we go get something afterwards, like a Starbucks or something. But so it like around 1:30. I'm at Mountain Time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll just post a message in the Discord for a time I decide on, and then if you can make it, cool, and if not, we'll catch you then.
All right. Hopefully. All right.
All right, man.
Take care.
Later.
All right, see you Tuesday. Catch you later.
See you
All right, later.